It's been obviously fantastic. And she's been a little joy of heaven. But at the same time, is a more responsibility. Looking after two little ones, tears, whispers, and heartbreak ripple through the royal halls as Princess Charlotte makes a shocking permanent exit from Edinburgh. Staff who helped raise and protect her were reportedly in tears, blindsided by her sudden departure. But why would the young princess leave so abruptly? And why does it feel like something much deeper is unfolding? Behind the palace gates, sources say it wasn't just a move. It was a message, a royal shift that could change Charlotte's path forever. So, what exactly happened in Edinburgh? Let's uncover the truth behind her emotional goodbye. The quiet exits. No one expected it began as an ordinary London morning softly overcast the sky, painted in shades of quiet gray, the streets moving with their usual hush and hum. But behind the time-worn gates and polished walls of Kensington Palace, something felt off the air inside. Normally filled with the gentle rhythm of royal routine, was thick with an unfamiliar stillness. Something had shifted, an absence that could be felt rather than seen. At the heart of the mystery was Princess Charlotte, the bright, graceful young royal loved for her cheerful waves, her thoughtful glances, her quiet confidence had disappeared. Not with fanfare, not with scandal, not even with a whisper of warning. She was simply gone. No royal cars pulling up the drive, no flutter of the press outside the palace gates, no official statement, just an untouched breakfast tray in her usual spot. A stillness in the eastern wing where tutors once read softly and laughter once echoed her chambermaid, usually steady and sure, now moved in restless circles, eyes darting toward the nursery. Windows slightly open, the breeze slipping through it felt strange, as if it carried secrets. By noon, the calm had begun to unravel. Guards who were once barely noticeable now stood tall and sharp-eyed, their movements quicker, their eyes scanning. Earpieces buzzed with urgent whispers. The Royal Protection Squad, trained in discretion, now moved with quiet intensity. And someone, perhaps a gardener, perhaps a passerby, had seen a helicopter the night before, sleek, dark, silent, rising from the palace lawns under cover of night. It left behind more questions than answers. The public hadn't yet noticed. The world outside remained blissfully unaware. Even Charlotte's brothers played in the garden, their laughter rising in the summer air, untouched by the growing storm inside. But those who knew her, those who worked around her daily, felt the silence like a weight pressing down inside her bedroom. Strange details lingered. One pink ballet slipper had shifted out of line. A stuffed animal that never left her bed was missing. On her small writing desk sat a note, neatly folded, perfectly placed. No one had dared to open it. Not yet. The palace hadn't spoken. The Queen's aides kept their lips sealed, but the question lingered in every hallway, echoed down every corridor, and burned quietly in every mind. Where could Princess Charlotte have gone? And even more puzzling, how did she disappear without leaving a single clue behind? Whispers stirred through the quiet streets of London. Yet, no one had answers behind locked doors and barely open windows. Secrets hid, refusing to be found. But one thing was clear. Something strange had taken place that morning, something big, and soon the world would be forced to pay attention. Because whatever happened to Princess Charlotte was far too shocking to be forgotten. Behind Princess Charlotte's exit still remains a mystery. Let's delve into the possibility of Princess Charlotte's future. Outside the palace, something that might influence her decision to leave sooner or later. A future beyond the royal fold. Princess Charlotte, the only daughter of Prince William and Princess Kate, may one day make a bold move that breaks royal tradition by choosing a career outside the royal family. At just 9 years old, she's already showing signs of having a mind of her own. And sources say her future could take a very different path from those who came before her. As the third in line to the throne after her father and older brother Prince George, Charlotte's life is naturally surrounded by royal duties. However, according to insiders, she's developing a heartfelt interest in a profession that reflects her caring personality. Nursing this interest is said to have blossomed. She learned from her father about the important role NHS workers played during difficult times. One source told New Idea magazine that Prince William and Princess Kate were deeply proud. She's still very young, of course, but they were touched by her compassion and clarity. Charlotte is a gentle soul who also knows her own mind, so they wouldn't be surprised if she champions healthcare as a cause close to her heart one day. Some believe Charlotte's path may echo that of her great-aunt Princess Anne, who is known for her dedication to public service, though Charlotte and her younger brother, Prince Louis, are expected to hold senior roles within the royal family and possibly inherit titles. Their future may not be as tightly bound by tradition as in previous generations. There are strong indications that Prince William and Princess Kate want their younger children to enjoy great personal freedom, to build lives filled with meaning beyond royal responsibilities. Journalist Camila Tomini, a presenter on GB News, believes the royal couple will support Charlotte and Louis if they choose to pursue careers of their own. She suggested they would not want Louis to simply linger in the background of royal life without purpose, as has been the fate of some spares in the past. Former BBC royal correspondent Jenny Bond agrees. In an interview with OK Magazine, she explained that William and Kate are raising their children in a more modern, thoughtful way. They understand the challenge of being a royal who isn't the heir, she said, and they're making sure that Charlotte and Louis feel just as important, cherished, and appreciated as George. Bond added that it's likely the couple will encourage their children to pursue higher education and eventually choose careers that feel fulfilling to them, whether that's in the military, charitable work, or another passion. Most importantly, William and Kate want their children to understand the value of empathy, kindness, and service. They believe that leading a meaningful life is far more valuable than titles alone, a message that could shape the future of the monarchy itself. Let's dive into the details surrounding the birth of the young royal. The making of a young royal: grace, grit, and quiet power. Born on May 2, 2000, Princess Charlotte of Wales quietly made royal history before she had even learned to talk. In a groundbreaking change centuries-old tradition, she became the first girl in the British royal family who wasn't pushed down the line of succession just because a younger brother was born. This wasn't just a legal reform, it was a powerful moment that showed the monarchy adapting to a new era. But the laws of succession are only a small part of Charlotte's story. What makes her truly remarkable is who she is. Not just a royal child, but a shining presence, with a personality that blends elegance, strength, and quiet leadership. From the moment she stepped into public life, this is properly black, isn't it? People couldn't take their eyes off her, not because she demanded attention, but because she seemed born to carry it with ease. Even at the tender age of 7, during Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral, Charlotte showed a depth of character that left a lasting impression. Dressed in black with a tiny horseshoe brooch pinned to her coat as a tribute to her great-grandmother's love for horses, she stood tall and graceful. She gently guided her older brother Prince George through the solemn day, with steady confidence. When she bowed deeply before the Queen's coffin, the image touched hearts around the world. It wasn't just a ceremonial gesture, it was an act full of meaning, respect, and maturity far beyond her years. Charlotte continues to captivate the public during royal appearances, during the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. While her younger brother Prince Louis was caught on camera squirming faces and clapping offbeat, Charlotte remained calm and collected. With a gentle glance or a soft word, she helped steer him, not with bossiness, but with the kind of caring firmness that only natural leaders possess. She wasn't trying to impress anyone, she was simply being herself, thoughtful, steady, and kind. Charlotte's calm and confident nature isn't by chance. It's a reflection of how her parents, Prince William and Princess Catherine, are raising her. They blend royal duty with everyday kindness, giving her both a crown and a childhood at home. William playfully calls her the boss, and even the late Queen Elizabeth once said, Charlotte seemed in charge of her siblings, but what makes her truly special is how she leads, not by showing off or acting superior, but by caring deeply. She doesn't demand attention. She earns it with quiet strength, compassion, and understanding. Her sense of responsibility feels natural, not forced, showing that real leadership is less about power and more about love, respect, and thoughtful action. Many see in Charlotte the spirit of her grandmother, Princess Diana, compassionate, confident, and effortlessly charismatic. She brings light and calm to her family, showing that being royal isn't just about titles and tradition. It's about having heart at just a young age. Princess Charlotte is already proving that the future of the monarchy is in very capable hands. As many watch from afar, they marvel at her level of responsibility, debating her childish tendencies. Exactly. Is she like? Let's find out. The princess effect on the outside. Princess Charlotte carries herself with elegance far beyond her years. But beneath the polished image the world sees, she's still just a 10-year-old girl, full of laughter, curiosity, and a love for the simple joys of childhood. Climbs trees without a care, chases her brothers through grassy fields, and lets the wind toss her hair as she runs downhill, laughing all the way. But unlike most girls her age, every playful step she takes is captured by a camera. Every smile she flashes becomes news. Every outfit she wears sparks frenzy. If Charlotte shows up in a floral dress or tiny ballet flats, stores selling those items are emptied within hours. Fashion brands hold their breath, waiting to see what she'll wear next. Her influence stretches across continents and is estimated to be worth billions in children's retail. Somehow she still manages to appear untouched by it all, graceful, unaffected, and incredibly poised. But this kind of fame comes with a price. While most children can go to school, make mistakes, and grow up in peace, Charlotte lives under a magnifying glass. Nothing she does is truly private. Her childhood has become something the public watches. Like a television series, each episode dissected, each scene replayed. That's why her calm exit from Kensington Palace carried such deep meaning. There was no drama, no hidden story waiting to be discovered. It was a quiet but powerful choice for something rare, priceless. Freedom, the freedom to grow up without constant camera flashes, without every smile or misstep turned into gossip. It was about giving herself the gift of privacy, of living real, unshared moments away from the noise of the world, where childhood could be just that simple, safe, and truly her. Behind closed palace doors, careful choices were made. A suitcase was gently people of her great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. It's no surprise that fans and the media have lovingly nicknamed her the Mini Queen. But Charlotte's charm goes beyond her polished appearance or graceful manner. She doesn't seek to be the center of attention, yet when the spotlight turns her way, she faces it with quiet confidence and ease. Whether she's giving a shy little wave to the crowd or walking steadily beside her parents during official events, she carries herself with a kind of inner calm that's rare in someone so young. There's something magnetic about her, not loud or showy but sincere and dignified. Behind Charlotte's steady nature lies the thoughtful and tender guidance of her parents, Prince William and Princess Catherine. The couple has made it a priority to raise their children with a careful mix of royal responsibility and everyday childhood experiences. They want their children to know duty, yes, but also joy, play, and love, and this balanced upbringing is not just visible, it's deeply felt. Despite growing up with cameras constantly clicking and public attention always looming, Charlotte remains grounded and secure in who she is. Much of this emotional strength comes from the nurturing presence of her mother. Kate Middleton is often admired for her grace in public, but at home she is a warm and protective mother who puts her children's emotional well-being first. Since Charlotte was little, she's instinctively looked to her mother for comfort in unfamiliar situations, holding her hand tightly or leaning in during overwhelming moments. One sweet scene that royal watchers fondly remember is when Kate bent down and whispered something in Charlotte's ear, causing her daughter to burst into a glowing smile. It was a small but powerful moment that showed the love and trust between them. Charlotte also shares a special closeness with her father. From the day she was born, Prince William's pride and happiness were written all over his face. Their relationship has only grown stronger with time, filled with laughter, shared memories, and gentle affection. Often calls her Manette, a tender French nickname that perfectly matches her graceful but spirited personality. Social media is awash, sometimes with lots of rumors and misinformation. So we have to be a little bit careful whether they're taking walks together or attending concerts. The bond is heartwarming and sincere. One especially memorable moment was when they were seen dancing together at a Taylor Swift concert, just a father and daughter enjoying music free from royal titles or public roles. It's in these simple, joyful moments that Charlotte's true story shines brightest. Princess raised with love, dignity, and the freedom to simply be herself. Although her parents raised her like every other child, she still has the royal blood running in her veins as she pursues a life of meaning. How would she cope with life outside the palace? Let's find out the power of roots. A young Princess Charlotte stepped into a new chapter of her life. Her family made a choice that raised eyebrows across the nation. To outsiders, it might have seemed unexpected, even puzzling, but to those who truly know them, it was a thoughtful, even beautiful decision. The royal family chose to move out of the historic and grand Kensington Palace. Not just to change schools, but to change the way Charlotte experiences her childhood. Their new home, Adelaide Cottage, a quaint and lovely residence tucked away near Windsor, far from the constant buzz of cameras and the stiff rhythm of palace life. Rolling Charlotte at Lamrock School in Berkshire played a part, but this move went far deeper than just academics. It was about gifting Charlotte something rare and precious. A real childhood, one filled with open skies, dirty knees, laughter without limits, and the freedom to simply be a child without the weight of royal expectations pressing down on her every move. Life at Adelaide Cottage offered just that. Surrounded by fields, trees, and the gentle hum of nature, Charlotte found a haven where she could ride her bike down winding paths, run across wide lawns with her brothers, and explore the woods like any curious little girl. Gone were the photographers hiding behind corners or the constant need to look perfect in public. Instead, her days became filled with small, meaningful joys: helping in the kitchen, reading her favorite books in sun-drenched rooms, planting flowers in the garden, simply giggling with her siblings under a blanket fort. In this slower, simpler pace of life, something beautiful began to happen. Charlotte flourished. Her personality grew brighter, her laughter deeper, her confidence more visible. Away from the spotlight, she began to discover who she truly is. Her family wasn't running from their royal roles. They were embracing a different kind of royalty, the kind rooted in love, connection, and peace. But this move wasn't just about Charlotte, it also held deep meaning for Prince William. Welcome Dominator with Queen Elizabeth II, spending more of her time at Windsor, later years moving closer to her, was a heartfelt decision. It allowed for cherished moments, private memories, and the passing down of wisdom and legacy in the most natural way, around the table, in quiet walks, or through shared stories at bedtime. Adelaide Cottage became more than just a home, became a symbol, a quiet bridge between the old and the new, between royal tradition and real family life, between duty and the deep desire to raise children who are not just royal but also grounded, kind, and free. In choosing this path, William and Kate showed that sometimes stepping away from grandeur can bring one closer to what truly matters. What it is exactly, and how we can support not only ourselves but each other as well. With her appearances, Charlotte can be seen to radiate a high level of confidence, lofty character, and some amount of silent strength, among others. Find out what kind of foundation she is laying for herself, the future she's building. Charlotte's education has always gone beyond textbooks and classrooms. From her earliest days at Willocks Nursery to her current time at Lamrock School, Her learning has been a journey of the heart as much as the mind. More than just lessons and exams, it's been about shaping her character, growing in kindness, awareness, and inner strength. Her teachers often describe her as bright, thoughtful, and deeply respectful. She pays attention, notices the little things others might miss, and treats everyone with quiet dignity. Her friends are naturally drawn to her. Something is comforting and genuine about her presence that makes people feel welcome and at ease. Charlotte is not loud or attention-seeking. In fact, she speaks softly and listens more than she talks. But when she does speak, people stop and listen. Not because she demands it, but because she earns it. There's a quiet confidence in her, assurance that doesn't shout, but still leads. It's the kind of leadership that doesn't come from having a crown or a title, but from being someone others trust and feel safe around. This gentle strength is part of what makes Charlotte truly special. Like her great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, her influence lies not in volume but in values. She doesn't rely on a raised voice or grand declarations. Instead, she leads with kindness, patience, and integrity. She makes space for others, lifts them up, and reminds us that true power often comes wrapped in humility. What makes her story even more beautiful is how her parents are raising her not just as a royal but as a kind and grounded human being. They're teaching her that being a princess isn't about status or appearances but about character and compassion. Love shapes her daily, not through big royal moments but through simple acts. Sharing stories under a tree, holding hands on family walks, whispering words of support. When no one's watching, these small tender moments are the ones truly forming her. Charlotte may not be next in line to the throne, is already shaping a quiet legacy in a world that often celebrates loudness. She is growing into someone who proves that strength can be soft and influence can be gentle. At just 10 years old, she's becoming a young girl admired not for her title but for the way she carries herself with grace and heart. Her journey so far reminds us that sometimes the most powerful kind of leadership doesn't come from speaking the loudest, but from listening, caring, and simply being present. So what do you think about Princess Charlotte's rise and exit from Edinburgh? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.